No, they want him to have a bad game wherever he goes because 5 brew against the Death Prophet not so good. They have a high HP, so uh, the uh, the Spirit Siphon,
Only
you know,
10
you don't have
seconds.
damage. The Spirit Siphon is going to be quite strong.
Mhm.
Undying again, very good in the
5
lane against
seconds
the Brewmaster.
remain.
Rubik helps a bit, but not enough. Rubik likes to poke and stuff. It's not like he can do massive amounts of damage to the Undying, and the Undying is just going to be punching into your Brewmaster. So wherever GeekFam sends the Brew, he is gonna be meeting with a lot of damage going his way.
Yeah, not a brew enjoyer this game. Undying is super nasty to play against. I guess this has to be a
Dire's
5
ban.
brew with this next pick coming
Drow
up. We have
Ranger.
a Drow Ranger secured. Good for killing the Tombstone. Good against the Lesh-Rack, but Lesh is also pretty decent against the Drow Ranger herself. So until we have a BKB on the Lesh, Drow can still feel somewhat safe. You've got a lot of
This is
control on the
10
3 heroes on
seconds
Geek
to
Fam
pick.
side.
This is an awesome draw pick, to be honest. You,
5
as you mentioned,
seconds.
help with the
Hurry.
Undying Tombstone, but also both Tusk and the Brewmaster like to be really deep into enemy territory. You have this brew to protect you from pretty much whatever with the Cyclone, and it might not be burst damage, but it's as good as it gets on a carry hero that you are a single target oriented one. And if someone gets stunned, you can blow him up. That's where the Tusk and the Rubik come in. You want to go for the Death Prophet. Soul Rip isn't going to be enough to keep her alive. So I like this pick from Geek Fam. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a solid pick for sure. Leshrac has a lot of tools to fight against the Drow. Firstly was the BKB that you can get close, can't get silenced. Secondly is the Blink Dagger from this Lesh, which we do see a lot on snowballing Leshracs, where they just blink in to find their target that they want to kill. Instead of being the old Boots of Travel, Bloodstone, BKB Lesh that runs into the fight. No, he just goes straight at it where the problem needs to be fixed, and that would be the Drow Ranger. So we'll see what kind of build he goes for. And obviously, what kind of a game does he get for himself? GeekFam also recognizing the fact that this Leshrac needs to be shut down early.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Tusk would be a solid mid laner against the Lesh. Either way, Tusk would be a really good mid laner here. The Deso would be amazing against pretty much all of the 4 heroes you're playing against. No agility heroes there other than the Nyx, and he's not really a classic agility hero. So I wouldn't mind if GeekFam put the Tusk in the mid lane. Brewmaster 3 or 5, I don't mind. All is well. Just get a nice laning partner with a Drow Brew is okay in that regard. And the Geek Fam draft, I mean, already it looks really formidable. You just need to round it up properly.
5 seconds remain.
Final pick for Fnatic.
Templar Assassin.
We're gonna get the Templar Assassin for the damage output. Lesh TA lineups, heavy power spike, very snowbally lineup here. Geek Fam needs something to weather the storm now.
Something that's
10
gonna
seconds to
slow
pick.
them down. You
Bloodseeker,
already
Storm
have
Spirits, but Storm is also
5
greedy as hell.
seconds. Hurry.
you already have big team fight. Lane out push I think would be good to go in with the Rubik.
I was thinking mid Drow and a safe lane Bloodseeker for a moment, but also then the Drow kind of just falls flat. The Bloodseeker doesn't really tempo either through that. Like Bloodseeker's a tempo control hero, right? You kind of set the pace, but Fnatic with less than tempo Templar, they set the pace, to be completely
Yeah.
honest. So I don't like the Seeker at all in this matchup.
No. Don't go for that. You're either gonna go for added burst damage for Geek Fam, and that's how you're gonna approach it. When Fnatic come to a tower, you just blow them up. You slow them that way. I think you let the TA farm. Geek Fam shouldn't focus on the TA. Maybe laning stage wise, but she's already laning with the Undying, so that's fine. I think you just let the TA have her way and make sure that the other 4 don't have a good game. I think that's the right approach. You cannot deal with both. That's the key. Fnatic's draft is good, so you can't really counter everything.
If you want to mass the team fight, you pick Faces Void and pick that for Roger, and then promote the Brewmaster into 3 after all.
Damage is the key here. I think Geek Fam needs damage. Starting off the fights is what they need.
So we are going to mix things up a little bit here. Mid Shadow Fiend for Cox versus the Leshrac, I would believe. Roger goes for the Tusk. Force still goes for the core Brewmaster in this game, so they won't swap around their positioning here.
I'm okay with that. Nyx Assassin, it's not gonna be easy getting to the Blink Dagger. If I was Fnatic, I'd be happy that the key hero of my My lineup is being played by DJ because he very rarely has bad games. You need to have the Blink Dagger early because Fnatic also needs to, when they see a hero, SF, Drow Ranger, even the supports, you need to jump in and kill them. Their lineup isn't good at that. That's why SF is so good, because you have the Requiem of Souls to just send them back or force them to preemptively pop BKBs and then allow Geek Fam to reset. So SF pick in the last is quite good, but I think Fnatic, it's going to be relying on this Nyx Assassin. If the towers fall, if he's able to control the map, if he's able to get a fast Blink Dagger, they'll get the victory. If on the other hand, the Nyx Assassin suffers and GeekFam can defend their towers, can kill KP a couple of times, then it's gonna go on the way of GeekFam. But I think I'm leaning slightly more into Fnatic's favor here.
Yeah, if Fnatic snowballs, they win. I think that's just as simple as it is. Let's track T8. Very strong. Scales so fast into the game and still looks stable later on. Lesh maybe falls off a little bit if you're fighting against very tanky heroes, because at least the the Wraith Pack disappearing kind of buffs up this Leshrac now. Because Wraith Pack was the issue that this Leshrac was facing off. You have Mage Slayer on one hero, you have Wraith Pack on another. You can still build a pipe towards late game, and Lesh deals maybe 15% damage, maybe 20% damage. So now with the Wraith Pack kind of gone against casters, it does help this Leshrac early on with that maximized damage output, because the totem it doesn't do anything against casters anymore.
Really, there's gonna be needing some time for people to find a way to implement the Wraith Pact again. I think it's more gonna be, I have a Vlad's, I don't want the Overlord, I'm just gonna get this item. I think that's what the item will become.
So what kind of item build do we then get to see? Like Force, especially on this Brewmaster. You do benefit from Vlads on both of these heroes. The Drow, the Shadow Fiend. So do you just keep a casual Vlads, or are you going some different route?
I want to see a Spirit Vessel on Force. I think Cinder Brew is going to be the spell for him. Kiting is the name of the game for Geek Fam, because Fnatic, until they get a blink on the Nyx, they don't really have initiation potential. And you need to be going off of that you just do massive amounts of damage and the enemies need to bail.
To say, I'm curious about Gabby and his starting items here. Blightstone, 4 branches, Quelling Blade. Januel's going to be the one to bring all the regen to the lane, but 4 branches instead of 1 Slippers?
Yeah, maybe Slippers would have been better. But it is still a TA. Your mana is very important to you. You are spamming out refractions, maybe not in the first level, but you know, you're not really gonna get into too much fighting overall if you're Gabby. I think Jonuel is gonna be able to hold this lane back either way.
Well, yeah, some heavy lifting from the Undying gonna have to take place. 16 stacks, and we already talked about Brewmaster having only 2 armor, where he doesn't even have that. If the TA is right-clicking him, because that Blightstone puts him down to 0. Decay ready again. Force down to 60 HP. Nothing happening in the bottom lane. Mid lane also looking pretty calm to start things off with. Level 2s are up. Force, though, still being chased by Januel. Still living at 60 HP. Forcing Narman. Battling against him, at least.
Nasty lane for Geek Fam. Rubik is usually this hero that helps you do well in the lanes. In this one, it's just impossible. At least they pulled the creeps a bit, so Force can get his first yes, but the second one, the tower does take it.
Lesh versus SF. Lesh already leading with an entire creep wave, farmed more than Cox. 4
As you get more
8.
levels, Cox should be coming out ahead. The Lesh will get into this situation where his mana is gonna be quite low, and Cox will have more damage. So it's good for Armel to get the advantage right now.
Cox isn't really using these early raises either. Is it because of the Lesh matchup, or is it just saving mana? Because I've seen a lot of SF players in the mid matchup spam those early raises, even if they don't have high ground vision.
Yeah, especially because you want to get the early bottle. So yeah, I don't know. He went for the 2 mangoes and didn't use the raises. I personally wouldn't even go for the 2 mangoes. Would use the raises, get the bottle, and then with the water runes, you get yourself healthy. Now he might need
Yeah.
to pick up the water rune without the bottle. Yeah, not gonna be the case.
Well, he's just getting delivered. Getting it delivered from the courier. Armel already found the other water rune from the bottom half. Meanwhile, the top lane just continues to be very annoying. Tombstone is placed down, forcing Narman. You want to focus this Tombstone down. T8 looking for the deny here. You've got 3 heroes hitting at the same time. One of them is eventually going to get it. And Narman picks up an extra 100.
Narman is doing better in this lane than Force is, but that's okay. With the Brewmaster, you need levels. We already touched upon it. Junel goes for a deny and he even gets a courier there, so gonna be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, Fnatic did talk about that in the pre-studio for game number 1. That Fnatic does take a lot of couriers. Their average was a lot higher than GeekFam, so that does provide them with that early gold. Brewmaster in trouble in the top lane here while they were almost taking down Gabby, while Tusk is still taking a brunt of the damage. Nyx Assassin gets the first blood. We had to jump between lanes there, looking at bottom first with the initiation, but then Brew and TA both almost died. And then straight back to bottom to finish off as the snowball save bought some time for the Tusk, but not gonna live long enough.
And I think you're happy if you're Fnatic the DJ gets it. Talked about the importance of the early Blink Dagger on the Nyx. This is a good enough start. You need to give a bit more levels to the Death Prophet, so at least having a bit more in terms of gold is going to be important for you.
Another water rune secured for Armel. The TP rotation to mid as the Tusk dies, gets a bottle refill. Force, he might just be dead here. Good lift from Narman though, very good reaction. As the zombies didn't really get time to spawn. Normal also clears them out of the way, but General finds a snipe here. Level 2 decay. It does do 40 base damage. Force knows it. Force knows it. He's like, nope, I ain't going there. I know it might actually kill me. Skem, though. Fairy Fire has to be used.
Good read there not to turn around and attack the Nyx Assassin. The spike carapace doesn't kill you, but it might create enough space for KP to get another Crypt Swarm in.
Yeah, living on the edge for sure. Master struggling with the CS here in this lane. As Janual has been an absolute nuisance here. Spamming that decay, keeping Brew out of the lane. Gabby free farming on this Templar. Really like this lane duo of the TA Undying.
Yeah, it is very strong. The thing is, Geek Fam, they're gonna have a very narrow window to get this game back when there are no level 6 on the Nyx Assassin, when you get your level 6 on the Brewmaster. And considering Force is having such a bad time, Nyx Assassin might not need to wait long for him to have a 6 and start making plays. This is bad because Fnatic, with this kind of a lead, they can start pushing towers very early on. And opening up the map would be disastrous for Geek Fam. You have some of these heroes that would like to spend some time in the jungle.
DJ versus Rogers support battle here. Nothing too special here. Both of them were making their way towards the 6-minute power rune. But the Brewmaster just gets hunted down. Ends up on the wrong side of the lane. Tombstone right in front of his tier 1 tower too, so can't get there. And Cox will secure the Arcane Rune away from Armel.
But is he gonna live?
Is he gonna live? That's a good question. Pulse Nova does a lot of damage. Requiem coming out. The stuns there. Oh, he's under the tower. Oh, what a fear. Perfect direction to push him into. And JP diving under the tower takes down Drow.
There is gonna be mana on the tusks for this Nyx Assassin kill.
And Snowball. Bonk.
Drow dying is big though. Death Prophet running her down. No points in Gus there. A mistake from Skem. He should know that he needs to have a spell to get KP out of his face. So he went a little bit greedy with more of a farming build, and now he's going to be paying for it. But overall, not that bad for Geek Fam. They secure the rune for the SF. They get a kill on the Lesh. That rune was very important because you lost the Force Brewmaster on the top lane because you were rotating so many supports towards the mid. So getting the rune on the SF was key, and Armel wanted to take that away as well with going with that aggressive lane, just barely dying there. It was very close for the SF to be the first one to fall.
They're trying to chase this Drow Ranger. DJ looking for the angle for the stun, but now the Exorcism's ghosts are going to start hurting, and Skem is down for a second time in not a very long time duration. He just he was able to teleport back to bottom to farm for a little bit, but now he's dead again. The Death Prophet running him down. KP doing some very good moves.
The worst time for the Drow to die is like level 4 and 5. If you're dying level 1, 2, it's not that big of a deal. But as soon as this time comes when you need to get to your level 6 to actually allow you to stay a little bit longer in the lane and you die twice in a row, that's a big problem. Especially now he's gonna have to take the long walk, and Skem is thinking, do I go bot, do I go woods?
Yeah, and without level 6, going into the jungle hurts. That is your big farming ability.
They're sending him to mid. Okay, that's smart. He needs the level 6.
Gonna have to battle against Januel and Armel. Going up against Narman. Narman did get the deny on the regen rune, but he's still gonna die here with Armel turning around with the stun. As they are contesting these big stacks. These were meant for the Drow. Skem not gonna have such luck, at least on half of the creeps, but Armel low on HP. Skem to find his first kill potentially here. Nope, Roger yoinks it in between. And onto Januel, they turn their attention. SF quite close to getting this one. Undying, still on the runaway. Reminds me of GeekFam's own weapons when they played the carry Undying. They would use him to invade the enemy jungle, pop down the tombstone, and farm some big stacks, and especially those ancient stacks with the tombstone zombies. So Fnatic using their own weapons against them.
Yep, but they were a bit too deep, and I think they have no reason to do so. They already had a good enough lead. They can allow GeekFam to have those stacks. It's more about taking the towers down. So Armel, 4 points in Split Earth. I actually expected him to stop at 3 at least and just start going for the Diabolic Edict. These towers need to fall. I guess you're relying on the Exorcism right now.
Yeah, just a quick update on the group situation. We didn't mention it here at the start of Game 2, but we did highlight it a few times in Game 1. GeekFam secures upper bracket with that win from Game number 1. So they're guaranteed to go through.
Do you think it's gonna hinder their gameplay a bit? Are they gonna take it a bit easier? Or is pride everything to them?
That's a good question. Like, I think in the fact of, you know, when you talk about pride of the region, playing against the top team of the region, I guess you would still say you're gonna give your everything and you're gonna be happy with whatever the result's gonna be in the end. They barely walked away with Game number 1, if we're completely honest. So Game 2, I don't think they're too exhausted about what just happened, unlike Purple Paradox, which was a massive, well, I wouldn't say facelift, I would say face removal. After their win against Fnatic, it just fell flat. Hey, again, I'll just give you politicians' answers to questions like these, Harry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've gotten used to it, you know. I just wanted to have something more to make fun of you there, but yeah, thank you, Panda, for that.
What would we be if we don't make fun of each other's?
Yeah, we will. Just no reason to be alive at that point. Anyways, though, Fnatic, this mid lane tower is the main thing that they need to get. It's to open up the map for the Nyx so that he can really give vision to his team and actually go for those kills. So for now, they're only controlling the bottom part of the map, but Skem is always gonna have the idea of if he's being hunted, because he's gonna see the DP going his way.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing in my jungle? Narman, please help me. Maybe taking some tower hits here, but again, the Siphon, the regen is just too much. But oh, look at Nyx Assassin. DJ! Somebody hit the DJ button on the keyboard, and he's summoned with the Nyx Assassin. Gabby also takes down Force with the help of his buddies in the top lane. And now they're looking for the Rubik kill too. KP, he will secure it. A lot of kills going for Fnatic, and nothing really going in the favor of GeekFam right now.
Cam has been dropping the ball a bit here. I have to say, this has been looking amazing for the majority of the tournament, but with the Drow Ranger, greed has gotten the better of him. He saw the DP moving towards him, and he was like, should I go for this camp? Maybe not, maybe yes. Then he takes a lot of damage in the end, loses his life. Again, giving the kill to DJ and getting towards the Blink. The early towers, the Blink Dagger of the Nyx Assassin that allows Fnatic to be aggressive, and then you're just gonna hit this TA timing perfectly. There's not gonna be a way for Geek Fam to stop it. So, very, very rough situation for Geek Fam.
Fnatic looking to pressure mid. Cox and Roger are going to get reinforced by Narman. Level 7 on the Rubik. Spell Steal available. DJ, though, checking out if there's anything happening here in the triangle. He's right under a sentry ward, though, but now he is in hiding. Trying to give more and more info behind enemy lines. And with another sentry placed down called Lost Boy. He actually
DJ
stole Vendetta.
Yep. They immediately go for a smoke. That is the item. That is the spell you use for a kill. Gabby could be a target. You at least need to shut him down when no one else is dying.
Won't get the damage output from the Vendetta, but it doesn't matter if they have enough to close it through. 4 seconds until another refraction is going to be up. Gabby, 1 second. Not going to get it in time. They will get a trade-off here as Cox will go down. There's a lot of zombies on his feet as Januel was there just on point. Trap slow onto Roger. Might just be a third kill going their way. Snowball onto DJ. Roger does get the shard block, but the Impale stun comes out, and the Crypt Swarm from KP will take down the Tusk, and another set of kills going in the favor of Fnatic, and getting the last seconds of that Exorcism to poke the tier 1 tower.
At least they killed the TA, you know, that... But it's still really bad. It's still really bad for Geek Fam. It goes to show just how weak they are, how weak their heroes are. They stole the Vendetta. They came in with 3 heroes, used the Requiem, and they barely killed the TA. If he had the refractions a little bit earlier off cooldown, the TA even survives, and it ends up being a complete disaster for Geek Fam. Currently, their lineup, they can only farm. They can farm, and they are gonna hope that they can... sustain and live through the timing of Fnatic, but there's so many things to deal with. This TA will get their death zone, then you have the first Roche, then you have the BKB, the second Roche, so many things to live through, and Geek Fam, it's only 15 minutes into the game, so very, very tough situation for them. They haven't even been able to use a proper primal split. It just goes to show how weak they are.
Well, if you consider it this way, from the very, very start of the game, you need to survive about 35 to 39 minutes of gameplay, where the TA then starts to fall off. Basically, her power spike reaches the ultimate peak. She's already 6 slotted, probably level 20, almost level 25. Might even be a snowballing hero with a lot of kills, maybe 7 kills, very big. Under 40 minutes is where you struggle, so you're almost halfway there. But this is the rough half, basically. And you might say, we had him in the first half, not gonna lie. Well, you just gotta live long enough.
And you know, if the game continues this way and you're just delaying until 40 minutes, not getting anything, the difference will be too high. So really, the timing, the timer won't matter that much if this is how it continues. And I'm looking at Geek Fam's heroes, not a lot of potential to come back.
The clock is merciless. They're gonna get themselves a quick DJ kill. Nuked.
That's nice.
Does let the tower live a little bit longer. Cox has been spamming this Requiem on and off the whole time, but doesn't get to use his silence. Oh, silence. Fear. And the big damage nuke.
But the big timer for Geek Fam is going to be the SFBKB. So you're trying to keep this mid lane tower alive for as long as possible before he gets it. Because once the tower falls, it's going to be very tough to farm. Because that's pretty much the timing where DJ gets his blink. So at least you delayed something. It might be Fnatic getting that mid lane tower off the back of the DJ blink, and not him using the blink after the tower to slaughter heroes. So at least something, but ideally you want this SFBKB before that tower falls so that you can really mount up a real defense against Fnatic who are running your way.
TA almost at 10,000 net worth. We're only 16 and a half minutes into the game. That's how good of a game Gabby is having right now. 3-1-3. More than 10 CS per minute average.
He's looking very powerful on Gabby there. It's a perfect game overall. He did die once, but even in that death, he took down 3 heroes with him. So it's not gonna be something that he's gonna be regretting at all. Now you get a blink. You get a blink on the Nyx. It's time for Fnatic to smoke, get a kill, get a tower, and start looking towards this Roche. The gold lead is gonna start increasing even more because GeekFam are gonna have to invest a lot in just staying around the Roche pit, not even completely defending it.
Question, Harry.
Go.
Is this an intro boys game for Fnatic?
No, I think not. I think this is a tough one for GeekFam to win, really. And Fnatic, they would have to make some mistakes in realizing when and how they should jump the enemies to lose this one now.
Oh, Roshan is being taken down in just a matter of seconds here for Fnatic. Aegis for Gabby, second life secured. To the mid tower they will head. That's going to be their easiest objective to take. He's already low on HP. Also get some vision down into the triangle. They just don't really have any wards. There's only one Obs ward, and it's also in Janual.
Good movement from GeekFam overall to push down the bottom lane. KP needs to be punished right now. The problem is he has the Heaven's Halberd. He's not an easy target, but you would want to take down a hero on the bottom lane. They can maybe wait for the next. That would be a good one.
Smiling at bottom. There are TPs going into the top lane. The Slashtrack's going to be there. Beautiful stun on 3. Allows KP to set up, but they're going to force out this the ulti from Brew. The TP away from the Shadow Fiend. DJ blinking to safety. Force slowly dropping. 1 Bruling down. Second one taking some poke damage. It's going to be the Earth Bruling down 2. So there's only 1 more to jump to.
A bit of a mistake coming out from Cox. He didn't trust that they're gonna get the Nyx immediately.
There's still Exorcism up for a couple seconds. KP going mad for this kill. Another Siphon coming out. Cox throwing down the Requiem. KP way behind enemy lines.
Yep, that's a nice kill, but it's still behind your tier 2 where you're bringing all of your heroes in your position 1 almost died. So now you need to find a way to get away from that bottom lane or you're just gonna get hunted down. The thing is, that's the only part of the map that you control. Look at Gabby, he's already in your triangle and he's not really a hero that you wanna challenge, and he even gets the perfect item, the Groove Bow now on the TA.
The Groove Bow. DJ missing a stun onto Force. Master walks out. They're now pushing the mid wave in. Leshrac is teleporting there. Armel. Just to make sure that this wave doesn't end up going under the tower. They do not want to give a free objective for GeekFam. But the supports chilling in the bottom lane. KP, who's just respawned, pushing out bottom once again and heading towards the tower. Meanwhile, Gabby finds himself a free kill on the Tusk. Oh, we're looking somewhere else where we're not supposed to be looking. Hawks takes down Januel. DJ stun on the Shadow Fiend. Stun on 2. Has BKB, has to use it. Disarm comes out as well from the Halberd. And another stun coming out from the Rubik. Narman able to keep them away. Skem looking for the TP. Skem is out. Narman TP. Narman is out.
Narman's like mechanical spell usage performance in this tournament has just been amazing. He has always been very good, but in games when you're losing, it really shows just how good you are at playing the game, because you're always in a worse position and you're still getting some nice hits off. And now he has the Impale. That's the spell that can get you this game back.
I want to kill Gabby here. They might be able to get the Aegis out of the way at least. That's 1. KP Exorcism is coming off cooldown right now. Is he going to use it? He could, he will. DJ blinking in, gets the stun onto the Shadow Fiend. Cox is still standing, still DJ getting burnt down by the Brulings. He might have just given his life away, but now they need to capitalize. Here comes Armel, blinking in with a Bloodstone. Shadow Fiend with no Requiem, no defensive capabilities, but Armel taken down. Maybe even KP as well. The damage is too much to deal with. Januel's gonna be going down next. GeekFam, they found an opening, and they're gonna abuse it. Cox with the triple kill, and they have just forced Fnatic away. They even stunned Gabby. They actually got the stun with the Impale and found him in the tree line. They're coming in. Skem wants to get a piece of that Gabby TA. And there we go. Silenced up with the Gush. Clean out the team wipe. Geek Fam. If we talked about weathering the storm inside the first 40 minutes, that's a huge step towards it.
Two things there completely changed the fight. One is Norman first getting that impale from the next assassin in the start and just constantly getting that one out in the fight, showing just how powerful it can be on the Rubik. But the other thing, Scam with the BKB comes to the fight, perfect positioning. Fnatic are running in. We talked about this, that they don't really have good jump for the Drow. They used all of their jumps onto the SF, and Scam just staying there and right-clicking them down, making the SF stronger in the process as well. You could see the DP there. At some point, KP was like, I have to get close to this Drow just to get that marksmanship away. But at that point, it was way too late. The Lesh was dead, and the fight was lost.
Massive turnaround from Geek Fam, giving them a lifeline in this game. Fnatic just needs to be cautious that they don't pacify their gameplay. We've seen this happen a couple of times. You lose a team fight on the aggressive end, and you start to feel like, okay, guys, maybe we do need to finish our next items. Or, you know, just start to play more passive on our side of the map. Get some more time, get some more levels. Maybe they do need to finish off an item, but you don't want to... You really don't want to pull off onto the defensive end when you're the one setting the pace for this game. You want to live off of that power spike.
BKB on the TA is the thing, and now at this point Fnatic, they're not that strong that they can just run into the enemy, so they need to use the advantage of the next assassin and the traps in terms of vision. They understand it now.
A lot of heavy lifting for DJ. Still walking under sentry wards a couple times. Samuel does get a two-man decay. Nice two-man stun from the impale from DJ. Norman steals the soul rip. Has a heal. Cox will take down the next assassin. On the side, though, TA BKB has already been used by Gappy. No more has this defensive capability for himself. Tusk is going to get chased down, meanwhile, by Armel. Diabolic Edict doing a lot of work, and even using the shards to block him away. But the rest of Geek Fam, they have already disengaged.
Not bad for Geek Fam at all. Fnatic takes control of the bottom part of the map, so you can go quickly into your triangle and secure that one for yourself. You need multiple sentries. Rubik only has one, so you need the Tusk to come back as well. That area needs to be cleared out now for Geek Fam. They finally get an opening where they know Fnatic just can't come over.
You find the Undying in the mid lane. My monitor tells me it's about to turn itself off. No, please don't. That would be awkward. Force. A couple beaten hits here. Nice three-man silence from KP. He's not an opening. DJ! Nice stun on two. It's on Cox. It's on Force. But is it still enough? Because they're going to be getting the Requiem off after the stun duration runs out. Couldn't capitalize on it, but they can still keep on going. No ulti on Brew. Slowly but surely taking down heroes. And Brew is gone. Another stun from DJ onto Cox. He's making these aggressive plays happen. Skem missing the gush. Cox getting hit by the Siphon. But it's just not enough for Gabby to get in there. Sideblade spill almost taking down Roger. Multi-shot and a snipe by Norman with the impale. And on the high ground, they want to take him. He's right on the edge of his base. And
DJ needs to be fast on his fingers with the spike air pace. He cannot allow the Rubik to have it. We're seeing how much troubles it's bringing their entire lineup. They had to commit a ward and a sentry there on the high ground just to kill him because they understand how dangerous it is if the Rubik has the impale. It changes the whole Geek Fam lineup when the Rubik has this long-range stun.
Massive issues for sure. There's a couple of good spells the Rubik can steal. And look at how much damage the Rubik dealt that last fight. Rubik topping the damage output. Can that actually... yeah, he did 4 Fate Bolts and a couple Pulse Novas in AoE. He did 3,000 out of the 5.4k. That's ridiculous, Narman.
Narman is keeping them in this game. He really is, with the stuns, with the damage, with everything that he's doing. And he's actually using his Blink Dagger quite nice as well. He gets silenced, he jumps out. He's not being caught any time. Of course, when he does get stunned, he's gonna die. And I think Fnatic at this point, they might put even more emphasis on killing the Rubik, even more than on the SF and the Drow. Force out the BKBs on the Drow and the SF, get the Rubik kill, reset, and then go in again.
Fnatic heading towards the mid lane with 4. Armel coming out from the jungle as well. Might actually get a chance to jump on Skem. Okay, Skem was about to farm this lane, but Armel jumped it first.
I SF has an AC. There are no armor items on the other side, not just yet, and that is a problem because Drow goes through your armor, and then if you're in minus, it's gonna be even worse.
And Scam dead. Actually found an opening there onto the Drow Ranger, but not a lot of HP on that hero. Quick to burst down. Gabby, BKB burnt down. SF is focusing down the tombstone. One hit after another. Finally gets it out of the way. Gabby disengaging with that BKB, hiding in the tree line. Brewling's causing issues. KP charging in with this Death Prophet. Nice Requiem coming out. The snowball's going to be connecting onto the DP as well. And again, Armel just blinking in aggressively, taking big hits from Cox though. Tusk coming in with a buyback. Narman going to get stunned. DJ controlling the Rubik at the back line. Gabby going back and forth. Another slow, another silence from the traps onto Force. Big hit coming out, but Brew has a lot of armor. He's at 34. And it just doesn't seem to worry about what Gabby is doing to him. These hits aren't so scary after all. Armel, Bloodstone is up again. Can he turn this around? No, he can't. A Diabolic Edict. Cox even walks into tank it so that the Tusk lives.
They had a ward there on the high ground, and Nyx thought he was safe. He could use the Impale.
Oh, and again, the Impale, the stolen one from Narman, but DJ throws in a better one. Gabby, oh, so close to teleporting away, but DJ gets out. Oh, man.
Yeah, Narman is just cleaning house. He's keeping them in the game so much, and this is enough of a delay. We talked about the timing of Fnatic. It's actually being delayed super much, and now with the Roche spawning, if GeekFam get it, Fnatic's lead, all of the things that have worked for 30 minutes, it's gone. Because Roche, the second Roche is the TA timing. That's the time when you end the game. 30 seconds, they can get it. There is no response from Fnatic. GeekFam, they're completely back into this game, if not ahead.
They definitely feel like they're ahead at this current way that these fights are going. And Narman, oh, he's so close to scouting out KP there, but he blinks away.
Top tower is being attacked.
Who do they give the shard to? I'm hoping the Drow. Yeah, they give it to the Drow. There's
The
there it is.
hypothermia, yeah.
Healing for the Death Prophet, healing for the Lesh. Gonna be non-existent, not like they were surviving through one stun when they're being focused down, but now it's gonna be even worse. Because Cam, with just staying back and using the multi-shot, is gonna be making sure that the SF does so much damage. We didn't talk about Cox's item choices. He went for the AC. Yeah, well, actually we did. But in combination with the presence of the Dark Lord, the minus armor for Fnatic, it's insane. They just need those armor items right now. Death Prophet went full in on dodging the physical damage, but if you just get hit once, it's gonna be enough to take away half your HP.
Yeah, like not just reducing the armor of their opponents, it's actually reducing quite a lot of damage the TA is dealing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because usually this hero just snipes people by using Deso and Meld, and then you're wondering like, what do I do? I built Ghost Scepter on me, I can survive the hits from this hero, but then you're still gonna die to Leshrac. So it is actually the other heroes saving theirs. Tusk gone for the face boots for good reason. Surprised Drow hasn't actually gone for face for extra armor, but I guess Drow already has an Agi hero scale so high in armor that you don't need it. But you have the AC, which actually is a big teamfight buff. Instead of a debuff for your opponent, it's a buff for your team.
And attack speed is also something that the Drow needs. You know, you talked about phase boot, but you always want to get the power treads, but that's also where the AC comes into play. More shots mean more marksmanship procs, and that means that the Fnatic are just gonna be dying.
More damage, more profit, more everything. More happiness. Smoke up from Fnatic. A very important one, too. It does feel like their time is running up. Technically, it feels like time is running up. I guess you're... once that power spike runs off, we're just living on reserve time for Fnatic. Like, they can still obviously win, but it's just not as powerful as it was at the start. They will find Force. He's the tankiest of them all. And he's got himself a Wraith pack down on the ground too. Snowball safe from Roger. Turnaround Requiem coming in from Cox. And there goes KP. He's gone. And Armel down too. GeekFam cleaning house.
Oh, Fnatic, they had the lead. They had everything they needed. They just didn't They just needed to get on the brake pedal and stop that one before they lose the first fight. But ever since the Rubik turned around that first fight with the Impale, it has started to look more grim and grim by the minute for them. And now it's actually GeekFam that are coming on the high ground. It's not
Again.
about time here, Panda. It's about the network. They're going for the end.
I mean, they can. This power that they have with this AC, they can push very, very fast. They want to force the buyback off of armor. I think that's what they're looking for here. Probably not the all-in push, but at least force, like, recognize us, notice us, witness me. Tower 4. The tier 4's down, and HN open. DJ stun on 2. Leshrac coming up with the buyback. This is their chance for Fnatic to hold, but they need to as well. USKP in the front. Armel with the stun takes down Roger. Force, he's going to lose his life too. He's going to drop the gem on the ground. They are moving away. Scam teleports out. Cox losing the Aegis. Fnatic successful. They are successful with the defense. Fnatic, they hold. They keep them away.
GeekFam getting ahead of themselves. I mean, if you start running away, you're not going to be able to get out properly. That's just how your lineup works. You need to stand your ground and attack. And they got the tier 4s, but the Raxes didn't fall. I mean, the melee ones didn't. So Fnatic are going to be quite happy with that one. Even though GeekFam completely stopped their timing, they gave it back slightly. And Fnatic right now, I think they stopped just going head on. They have to find out their other routes to make this lineup work. Straight on 5 versus 5. If GeekFam have some kind of an idea where you are, that's a lost fight.
Moving around outside of the base of GeekFam. Armel for the push with the Diabolic Edict. A very fast tower to be taken away with the TA, even faster. He's building into that NKB. Get more attack speed, get more procs. Don't worry about the potential butterflies that might be coming up on both of GeekFam's right clickers.
Also, they have a lot of armor, so you want some magic damage as well in terms of output. So that's another reason you're going for it. He sees that it's not doing enough. You're up against the Wraith Pack. You're up against heavy armor of the SF and the Drow. You're just not killing them. You need to make sure that the procs allow you to take them over the edge.
DJ was stalking there. The bottom lane just doesn't have any friends around to help him with the kill. Fnatic's economy. Look at this jump on this graph. I mean, it looked fairly even, as it's supposed to, and then a massive dip towards GeekFam, which then bounces back towards more of a 50-50 situation. But this is slowly starting to turn into a 60-40 for GeekFam.
Yeah, they are looking like they're the ones in control right now. Fnatic, though, they still have vision advantage in this game. They have traps, they have the Nyx Assassin, and they are pretty good at pushing out the lanes and even catching out people. So that is something they're gonna have to play off of. So dodging the smokes of GeekFam is of the utmost importance. And taking down all of the outer towers actually gives you a lot of map to play with and doesn't allow GeekFam to move around the map as fast as they would like.
Oh, they are going to battle out in the mid lane with the Undying quickly found. Blown up so fast we don't even have time to actually jump there. Is there any tier neutral item that might save Fnatic in this game?
I mean, tier 4, in terms of tier 4 items?
Any tier neutral item that could save them here?
I mean, yeah, I mean, ultra late game is always 50-50. There's so many items in place, and the jump and the vision is gonna make a huge play. But the item in general, there isn't like, okay, they get this one and they're gonna be stronger in fights.
Yeah, unlike is there just one that could make a huge difference? Because for me, it feels like Book of Shadows is something that can help removing the Drow Ranger, for example, from the fight for a couple seconds and allowing you to apply that burst damage. Could be something. That's also super late game.
You still need to get closer, and Scam does have the Ioskadi. Even more problems right now in terms of health regen for Fnatic. They're going for a smoke, but they need to find an opening when GeekFam are not together. They need to wait for someone to show on the lanes.
Well, it doesn't look like it necessarily. Roger already spotted with the traps, and DJ with the stun onto Force. They see Tusk, they pop the Flesh Golem at the top of the Tombstone. They lost DJ right away. And this Undying also just bought back in the last fight. Yep, that's the gem recovered for GeekFam. They got it back.
And with the Nyx Assassin being dead, the catch potential of Fnatic, it isn't there. The blink stun of the ledge just isn't reliable enough, especially against heroes with BKBs. So I'm Fnatic now, even though they're in a good position, they can't do anything.
Oh, big Requiem being used on bottom. It's gonna catch KP. Right-click damage more than enough to clean out the Death Prophet out of the way. Force already scanning out Roche.
You killed 2 heroes. You can easily deal with the waves, and now you want to go towards the pit. This is gonna be a early Roche respawn, but the question is, do GeekFam scout it out fast enough? They should be able to. They're coming towards the area.
Armin actually playing very aggressive here. Gets silenced by one of the traps from Gabby.
Very important that you have that silence, because he has a stolen spike carapace. If you don't, he uses it and stuns you and creates enough space for the rest of the team to come over.
13 kills up on Cox as well as he's heading over for the refresher. Be able to have that second BKB in fights. And another Requiem.
Yeah, it's very hard to react to the Arcane Blink Requiem even with the BKB. It's just not easy to do, especially you're playing against the Rubik. There's gonna be a lift, so he just wants to blow someone up. That's actually pretty good against the TA because Requiem is multiple instances of damage, and they go into the Roche. Again,
so
Roche very important for a TA lineup.
God damn, that's fast.
One of the faster ones we've seen.
38 minutes. GeekFam. Currently, could say they have a small lead. The Ancient is open, so one T-wipe means that they can march straight down mid and not even worry about another lane of racks or go for megas. Unless it's a forcing buyback situation where they might have to reassess the situation. But
I think GeekFam want to go towards the bottom lane. You don't have to force things out.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you can if they want to get another opening. But then Fnatic might just pacify their play. That will allow GeekFam to farm around the map a lot because then they're on buyback cooldowns.
Right now for GeekFam, it's deal with the lanes. They're trying their hardest to do with it, and Fnatic are doing a good job stopping it.
Force is already taking the brunt of damage here. Wraith Pact is also down. Quickly cleaned out by Gabby. And then he blinks away.
Nice from Fnatic. They're just waiting for their enemies to show on lanes. GeekFam, they're like, okay, we cannot deal with the lanes. Let's just go straight forward and force Fnatic back, get a couple of kills, and then get the lanes out.
If they do force a fight this close to the base, they can then just plan ahead. Gabby. To get rid of those wards. They are smoking up. Scam on the high ground. Very deep right now. Needs to rely on saves from his teammates.
He's okay. He has the Aegis. SF is the one that Fnatic need to jump on. And you can see how Cox is playing. He's just staying in the back and waiting for them to jump on the Drow Ranger. Then he'll turn everything around.
All right, that is one lane. Going for the second. Tier 3 tower already at half HP. Positioning is going to be key. Already in the back line. Look at Armel and Narman. Narman actually found Armel, and they will run into each other's. The stun comes out onto the Drow. There's a DD rune at the bottom half of the map, but Gabby, he can't get there. Manta dodge on the Meld Strike. DJ almost gets silenced there by Skem. Going straight through the backdoor protection. Finally clears it out. Mana burn.
No more backdoor.
Very low right now. Here goes Cox with the Requiem onto Gabby, and he's got him. He's got the TA. TA does have a buyback, but that is what they wanted.
Look at how clean they want to play. They're like, let's go towards the bottom lane. Even though the throne is exposed, they're like, yeah, let's take it easy. Nah, they just want to make sure that the mid lane creeps go forward so they can end it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's a thing like in the last moments, but DJ has to go away. The buyback coming out from TA. Armel finding in the front, but it's going to get lifted by Narman. Narman allowing Cox to go for the right clicks. KP charging into the back line. He needs to keep the Rubik away from the fight. Cox goes for the BKB and has to run away as well. They forced 2 buybacks already. They can just disengage, but they're stuck in the fight. Skem, he's got no force staff. He's trying to keep on the move. Cox trying to at least apply some help for Skem here, who is battling against so many heroes. Another Requiem coming in, Undying almost dying, and Gabi, he is gonna go down. They will be able to take down the TA. Armel with the stuns, but Cox and Skem, it's too much for Armel. KP's right there, but Armel's gonna go down, or is he? Finally is. KP, he's down to him and to DJ, and they've run out of tools. Geek Fam, they've done it. The stalemate is finally broken, and Geek Fam to 2-0 Fnatic.
It looked like Fnatic, there was no chance for them to lose this game, but that one big team fight loss, it allows Geek Fam to get into this position where they can go forward. They were, after that team fight win, they were still like 5-6k goal behind, but they dealt with the biggest timing of Fnatic. Then they were the ones that got the second Roche, and at that point, the game was out of Fnatic's reach. So Geek Fam really nicely played their Skem. I did have a couple of words there for him at the start of the game, but he actually made a big difference. Once he got a BKB, he recognized what his item needed to be. He came into the fight at a perfect time. He cleaned up house, and that is why Geek Fam got to the victory. But still, Narman, for me, the MVP, the steals of the Impale there. DJ did a good job with the stuns, but he didn't prevent the aerobic from getting them, and then the stuns on the other side were even better.
Yeah, huge performance from Narman. Absolute MVP. You have to give it to him here in this this second game. Stealing the right spells, and the most impactful ones. Also was kind of given those spells when you look at the Impale, for example. Like you said, DJ, do you want to use the Carapace just to prevent the Impale from going through? I guess that is the right call, because those Impales were actually game-winning in terms of holding out the game for Geek Fam. And, you know, they were able to hold back against that power spiky lineup. Leshrac and TA, basically the heroes that look to end the game at like 25 to 30 minutes, maybe even sooner if everything's going your way. They lost one team fight and never saw a good push into Geek Fam space again. This is what I was kind of afraid of, that they might actually go a bit passive here, and Geek Fam just felt like they were in control after that fight. So Fnatic, sometimes the blade dulls.
That's how these lineups work, you know. It's hard to make a mistake, but once you do, it's very costly, and that in the end it costs them the game and the series as well.
That means Fnatic's fate is still open in the upper bracket, depending what position they're going to end up in. But with this already the map 1 win, Geek Fam secured the upper brackets. Now looks like they're going to be securing maybe even first place, because or even second place. I'm not actually entirely sure. I think they might have actually won the group, because Army Geniuses, with their loss earlier on today against Lil Gun, costing them that first seed in the playoffs. But not to ramble too much about that, we are going to take a tiny break. It is a long day today. We have another series coming up after the break. Execration versus Unity Gaming coming up next.